beloved rose hearts of the great Mother's dispensation that has come forth from the center of our universe, our beloved Mother Akasha. I, Master Germain, greet you, and I thank you, if you so choose, for inviting me into the living room of your hearts. And as I am with you these few moments, so I wish to impress upon you the power that is yours through the dominion of your own mighty I Am God presence, to ensure that in these times of change, in ushering in this incoming seventh golden age, that change may come forth with as much grace as possible. I say to you, and through you, precious hearts, to the people of earth, whether they have ears to hear or hearts sensitive enough to know the truth. On one hand, we in the ascended realms, and from ages on time past, have often spoke that the hour is at hand. And I say to you, dear hearts, this is no longer our message. Our message is not of prophecy. My message is of urgency for you, blessed hearts, who have found the truth of life and are willing, your willingness to stand and face the light and the God of your own divinity. The hour has arrived, and the great purging, cleansing, and purification of this beloved planet and the people upon this planet, all kingdoms of life upon your planet Earth, including the powers of nature, the forces of the elements, has indeed begun. It is not only the cleansing and purging of all darkness and discord. Once that has been accomplished, it is the balancing of the powers of nature and all life upon this earth. And I, Master Germain, encourage all of you to know, blessed hearts, that when we use that phrase, powers of nature, forces of the elements, and all kingdoms of life on earth, this includes your atmosphere. It includes your air that you breathe. It includes the earth, the water element, the fire element. It includes your great forests, lands, oceans, streams, lakes, prairies, and so forth. And of course, this includes what most of the people know nothing about, and that is the precious life that is within this planet, and the many structures and layers of ore and gas belts, the tectonic plates that separate the people and life that live on the surface of the planet from those precious beings, including the elemental beings, lost only and known to the people only in legend. The elves, the dwarves, the leprechauns, the fairies, and so forth, the elemental beings that live inside the earth. And so I say to you, dear heart, the great hour of purging and cleansing and purification of all life on planet Earth has indeed begun. Now, you have found your own mighty I Am God presence, most of you who are listening to my discourse, and it is important that you understand that the use of your voice includes the power of your free will to so charge the energy around you, the energy in your homes, with my violet purifying flames, and speak your calls and decrees and your prayers up to your mighty I Am God presence, to myself, and to others of the ascended host who live in the greater dimensions, and call upon the ascended ones, known as the gods of the earth, mighty Helios, Neptune, Aries, Virgo, as well as the gods of the mountains, your ascended host indeed, who have waited billions of years to begin to intervene, knowing that that time of intervention always had to wait until some of the people would wake up. Well, goodness grace. Thank God some of the people have woken up upon the earth. And even though the numbers who know of their indwelling God presence may be small compared to the mass of the people, yet those numbers who have come to know and accept and live the I am God presence in their lives, you all have a power of God within and above you to work with the entire ascended host who are ready to work with you, and to see to it that the incoming changes, the incoming cleansing and purification is as peaceful as possible and produces the least amount of harm in the cleansing and purging process. That is the removal of all darkness and impurity from the world. And then the balancing process of all life on earth must come forth as well in this new incoming golden age. Now, I say to you, dear hearts, there are some, not all, but there are some activities in what you call climate change weather conditions in which the gods of the earth are working with the powers of nature and the elemental kingdoms to begin the great purging and the cleansing, the release of all discord that abides in the earth's atmosphere. And in some instances, the fire element, storms, elements from volcanoes such as volcanic ash, can be a blessing that brings some purity into the atmosphere and consumes some of the discord that has been imposed upon the elements. Yet, that part of those storms that are a purifying presence is such a small part compared to what we see in the weather conditions today, such as extreme heat or floods of the water element. And when I said in the 1930s to the people of America that one day the three Americas will have a subtropical temperature, I was not speaking of soaring extreme heat waves of 100 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. I was thinking something more along a lovely 85 degrees or Fahrenheit or 27 degrees Celsius. So all of these things that are currently happening, they are terrible imbalances that are in the powers of nature and the atmosphere caused by mankind's discord and the wrong use of technology. I say to you, dear hearts, my goodness, you live upon your planet, and perhaps you who are listening, perhaps you are people of good hearts who feel close to nature. Maybe you go for a walk and you don't take life for granted. Maybe you are grateful there is enough oxygen in the air that you can breathe and embody upon this planet. Perhaps you are grateful enough that the powers of nature and the forces of the elements provide food and water and gardens and so forth. But the mass of the people today are a different situation. Today, I see that there are cameras everywhere in your large urban city centers. If you were to look at the recordings of some of those cameras, such as in New York or London, and watch the millions of people leave their homes and descend upon Wall Street and Bond Street, downtown London and France, downtown Paris, into business sectors, and you see the millions of people that go off to work from their homes. And I say to you, so many of them not all of them, but so many of them are like walking robots, completely oblivious to anything around them, and certainly with very little appreciation for the powers of nature that allow them to embody upon this planet in the first place. I have never seen a race of people become so unconscious, so ungrateful for the life that allows them to embody upon this planet. I have never seen a race of people become so unconscious, living in their tiny little worlds until their own planet has had enough, raises her hand and gives back to the people their own discord that they have sown upon nature. Too often people are living ungodly lives, desecrating everything that is of life, meaning, and purpose. Fortunately, now we are beginning to see this change. People are awakening everywhere, and now more conscious of the harm they are causing to their own planet. These numbers of people must increase. I say to you, precious hearts, I know I am speaking to those of you who have remembered that you are spiritual beings and that you have come from a great star in the center of this universe called the central sun. You have been given an opportunity to become the individualization of God's source upon the earth. And the numbers that are required now in this incoming seventh golden age for a peaceful transition in removing the hordes of darkness that have controlled this planet far longer than you care to know, the numbers are not yet great enough to ensure a smooth transition. And because of this, there continues to be tremendous imbalance in the powers of nature and continuous various types of storms or drought, etc. Therefore, people like you who are awake, it is you that we require greater assistance from. Your voice is required. Your command for freedom upon this planet is required. Your demand for the sacred fire purification of all life on earth is required. There is a heavenly host. My goodness, never mind the ascended masters from your own higher dimensions. There is a heavenly host of ascended beings available now from your sister planet Venus that are ready to step in and help the people. But the mass of the people are ignorant and do not even know of these great interdimensional realities, that they exist and that they are available to assist if the people would call forth that intervention and be willing to wake up to the light. And so what do you do with such a situation? How do you get past people's free will to be ignorant? The people's free will to forget the reality of life that exists throughout the cosmos. How do you get past that personal free will? Well, you don't. We wait. And that is what we have done. We have waited and waited and waited a few million years until the cosmic law would direct us in the ascended realms that the people of Earth's free will must be set aside because they are endangering themselves and they are endangering the very life upon this planet. and only then does the cosmic law direct us in the ascended realms that the moment has arrived. And we have received now that direction. Go forth, use every means, and wake the people up before they destroy themselves. Wake the people up before they destroy this planet. And that, my friends, is what I, Saint Germain, is what I have been trying to do since I introduced myself to America in 1930. Now, I am aware that my discourse will appear on the Radiant Rose Academy YouTube channel, where many peoples from around the world will hear my discourse. So please forgive me, blessed hearts, to those who do not live in America, as I decree. God bless you, America. God bless you, America. God bless you, America, for thou hast a destiny. And the terrorism in this world, and the wars, and the selfishness, and the greed, and the drugs, and unhealthy politics are trying to stop America from rising and becoming that cup of light that is her destiny, that would show the way for all the people of earth to come to live the divine way of life. Now, dear hearts, when you get Saint Germain fired up, and you get a willing messenger to get out of the way and let me do what I plan, well, perhaps together I can convince you to do your part, perhaps to do a little bit more to help your planet and all life upon the earth. Now, beloved hearts, the cleansing, the purging that has begun is going to increase. There can be no further delays. We must not allow the sinister force, the discord and darkness that has been upon this planet, we must not allow it to continue. For there is a magnificent seventh golden age that is to unfold upon your earth. The discord that is upon the planet, the discord that has registered in the powers of nature, just like the people, rebels to what it knows not is coming. Now you ought, dear hearts, all of you awake, to be discerning and be wise, knowing that you are living in a troubled world, knowing that every system, technology in the world is being pressed to the max, including your electrical systems. And with what has occurred in the past few years, as an example, on the east coast of America, with the storms and the power failure, leaving millions of precious life streams with no electricity, this should serve you an example that all of you who know the God, the mighty I Am God presence individualized, ought to say, you ought to speak to your God self. Something like this: now, my beloved mighty I Am God presence, I am aware that I am living in a world with many challenges, and a great cleansing is unfolding. And I am aware that many of our technology systems are, well, as you might say, they're maxed out. The electrical grids are maxed out. Water supplies are maxed out. We have computer software terrorists who are trying to shut down everything. Therefore, now, my beloved I Am God presence, I ask you to prompt me, guide me. You are all-knowing, and if you know there are power failures coming to my area, if it's appropriate that I should purchase some extra foodstuffs, that I should purchase some extra water, that I should purchase some battery-operated healing plates so that I can cook some soup or something, if it's appropriate that I should have some candles, extra blankets, whatever it is, then my beloved I am God presence. I am not coming from a place of fear, for I have conquered fear in your name. I am coming from a place of being discerning, of desiring to be prepared. And so, my beloved I am God presence, when you know of these incoming dangers, and if you know there is something that is coming, you see to it that I am in the right place at the right time, and that I am protected, and I speak on behalf of my family, my loved ones, whether they have accepted their God presence or not. I have accepted my beloved presence, and all that I call forth for myself, I call forth for my loved ones, I call forth for my family, and wherever it is possible, I call forth for all the people of the earth. Now you alert me, you prompt me. If you wish me to be in a different location, you set the circumstances up and make it so. If you know a hurricane or something is coming that is going to shut off the electricity for a week or two, then guide me in these matters. I thank you, I bless you, and I love you. Now, dear hearts, I'm not the God of fear, and I'm not the God of prophecy. Yet the writings on the wall regarding climate changes and other disturbances. I am the God of freedom. I am the God of the violet purifying flame. And you all ought to be wise and discerning enough to have this kind of conversation with your own beloved presence. And if you have to reason with your presence, because it can't just all be about me, you've got to say something like, now my beloved, I am God presence. In my awakening, I am almost home, almost fully awakened, and I am here to become thy presence on earth. I am here to bring forth the Christ consciousness, the glory of your presence, just as Jesus did. This is the resurrection, that I too may go forth, and therefore I command and demand your protection of everything that I require, everything that is constructive, considering the great cleansing of this earth has begun. And things may get worse, unfortunately, before they get better. And that's because of the discord that has been created upon this planet. Take a deep breath. My goodness, people of earth, wake up. You have fires burning, drought in some areas and floods in others. And how disgraceful is it when the precious people have to leave their homes, when there are fires that are burning so close, and they have to leave their homes and they take whatever possessions that mean something to them, and they take those possessions in their automobiles, and they are guided by their cities and their municipalities, and they have to temporarily move to some convention centers or gymnasiums where they can gather safely and pray that the fires or floods do not harm their homes. And my goodness, to hear. And when I heard this, I thought this is just the most disgraceful thing. To hear that some criminals then go to these people's automobiles where people have placed so much of their precious possessions, photographs, and important documents, and tuck them safely in their automobiles, and then flee for safety where they can be saved from fires, as an example. And then, when they're told they are safe to leave and return to their homes, they go to their cars and find that their automobiles have been ransacked. This is disgraceful. That is so ungodly. My goodness, what is happening to the people of earth? And I ask you, precious hearts, you who are the heart of those awakening now, you who have taken the time and the energy, risen out of the ashes of what the people have made themselves. And I say to you, I say, Germain, speak to the freedom of America and the world. And when I came to America in 1930, I made it plain back then, and I will make it plain again today. Only the light of God is going to save humankind. And if there are not enough portions of humanity who will turn to the light of God on their own and help this planet, then the people of earth must be warned, because you must be warned, because there will be no more delays in the cleansing and purging of all darkness and discord from your planet. Now, because not enough of their own volition are turning towards the light, because of this, you have some days of darkness, and you have days of great light that are coming to the people of earth. And both will frighten so many because they will not understand. The times will come, and your own good God counsel to yourselves during days of darkness, and to your loved ones during those times, be prepared. Stay in your homes. Close your blinds until the darkness passes and the light once again prevails. Now, dear ones, do not lose heart. Your planet is going to become a magnificent place again. She is. And all the people will eventually wake up. But my goodness, when you see the kind of things that are still happening now, I ask myself, how long is it going to take? Because the intervention is no longer to be delayed. The dark side cannot hide from Saint Germain. I have watched it. Michael has watched it. Hercules has watched it. The gods of the earth have watched what they care not to watch. And as we have watched the viciousness and the hordes of darkness spread across the face of this earth and make mediocrity the highest standard that a being of life can live by, we say no more. To all that is the dark side, I declare, your day is done. You cannot hide from the light and the sacred fire that is coming to get you. So much, beloved hearts, depends upon all of you who are awake. Every force of every ascended being will stand with you and will answer your calls and your decrees. But my goodness, you've got to realize you are also the future Christs come to this earth to build a new world with us. You are here to achieve Christ consciousness, and then demonstrate that consciousness. And together we will build a new world upon this planet. Well, the great sacred fires will purge so much of the darkness that is upon the planet. But the people, they will rebel until they understand these things. I say to you, there is not anything that I do not hear. Now, a few years ago, when these blessed messengers of Mother Akasha's Academy, when they opened the way for Mother Akasha to bring her dispensation into Syracuse, New York, and into the great land, the great nation of Utah, when some of the ascended hosts spoke at those events regarding the vibration of certain colors, regarding the lower vibration of black and red, well, for years I have been teaching the knowledge of the sacred fires and the sacred colors, and yet, dear hearts, yet we heard from some individuals in the audience, "Oh, I don't agree with that. I don't agree that red is a dangerous color to wear. I don't agree that black absorbs the darkness that is in the world." Very interesting. Well, I say to you, dear hearts, I, Saint Germain, am fed up with human opinion. My apologies. I say to you, I am fed up with it. Because you see, dear hearts, we know the truth. And human opinion never contains truth. We know, in truth, the lovely vibrations that you see in bright, lovely colors. We know the vibration of the color red. We know the vibration of what is called black. And if you could see what we saw, you would never wear those so-called colors again. Why don't you just imagine you're all living in California for a while? You ever see the colors that the California people wear on the beaches? Beautiful, bright, wonderful colors. What a wonderful way to draw the light into your physical body, by wearing bright colors. Anyway, that is just an aside comment. So let me get back on track here, beloved hearts. I'm asking you, please talk to your beloved God Presence every day. Eventually, life will become a paradise on this earth. After all, we are in the opening years of a new permanent golden age upon your planet. Yet you're in a time of purging and cleansing. And the next few years, well, unfortunately, there's going to be a little bit of hell that's going to unfold here before we get to build a new paradise on earth. And you are intended to be here. But presently, the people of earth are dealing with world viruses, food shortages that will increase, along with other dangers. Those of you who have found your I Am God Presence, and us, your Ascended Master friends, we so desire to make a difference in your life. We desire to help you in your journey to enlightenment, raise you through your resurrection, see to it that you fulfill his prophecies, that is the prophecies of the mighty Jesus Christ, that there are more who come after him. See to it that you make a huge difference with the life that you have been given. Yet there's so much out there in the world today that will rebel against everything that you, precious hearts, have, that you stand for now. You stand for light. You stand for love. You stand for goodness against all the debauchery that is out there. And Saint Germain wants you to stay safe. I wish you to talk to your I Am God presence. I wish you to call upon the hosts of angels and the ascended host to keep yourself safe, to keep your home safe, to keep your land safe, to keep your nation safe, and to call to the goddess of liberty, the great Archangel Michael, and myself, Saint Germain, and call to Lady Nada and Mighty Victory to keep the United States of America and the three Americas as safe as possible, so they may fulfill their destinies. Yes, please, have this conversation with your presence. I urge you. God, I am of my life. You are within me, the sacred flame in my heart. You are above me, as shown in the chart of the I Am God presence. See to it that I go forth in greater service, and that I make a difference while I am here in this world. I call upon you, my beloved presence, to keep my life safe and protected. See to it that I am always in the right place at the right time. And if you know that I ought to have some extra supply, if you know that I ought to have 2 weeks' supply of water or food, or candles or blankets, or warming plates, so I can warm up a can of soup, whatever it is, you prompt me, my beloved I Am God presence. You prompt me to make sure that I have those things, that I can look after this life that you, my beloved presence, have given me. I thank you. So, beloved precious hearts, in these days, it is important that you have plans for emergencies. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. If there are horrific storms, discuss with each other where you will meet up. This is not fear. This is being smart, dear heart. The writings on the wall. Storms, floods, fires, drought will get worse in these next few years. This is not going to take decades. We're talking about a few years here. That things will get worse until all the discord is purged from this world. I wish you to stay safe, dear hearts. Now, many of you, not all of you, many of you, I wish all of you would enter into the Planetary Decree teleconference that takes place on 2 Tuesdays of every month. They're free. And you can connect with the Planetary Teleconference and join in. You can find the links on the Radiant Rose Academy website, and you can join this teleconference and with hundreds of other students decree for the purification of your beloved planet Earth. That's up to you. But I do say to you, your calls are making a difference. Your decrees for the greatest Ascended Master divine intervention for your planet, to balance your planet, to balance her structure, to balance her atmosphere, to balance her weather conditions, to release the discord that has enslaved your planet, is making a difference. And I ask you, command the angels, the ascended host, great cosmic beings, in great numbers now, to step in and stop all planned destruction and stop the destruction that is the side effect of the discord that's been imposed upon nature. Also realize that through your planetary decrees, now the increase of light coming from the physical sun is intensifying to some degree each and every day. And that light is causing all discord and darkness that has been hidden to be lifted to the surface, now to be cleansed. And when some of that discord gets lifted to the surface, it messes around with the powers of nature. So we require more of your assistance to cleanse and purify all darkness and discord as it is lifted to the surface. I thank you. Now, beloved precious hearts, you know, I am aware that I have a reputation amongst some, not all, but I have a reputation amongst some of being rather hard-nosed, too serious, and I have to tell you frankly, I don't care. I am only interested in you, beloved hearts, you who are awakening, you who are finding your freedom by accepting your mighty I Am God presence and entering into divine relationship and communication with your presence, with us and the angels every single day, and coming forth of good God conviction that this embodiment that you have been given will be an instrument in which the greatest forces of God and the ascended and angelic host can work through you and save the world, dear hearts. That is what I care about. I don't care about those who think I'm overly serious. I know the truth. I see the truth. Yet, precious hearts, make no mistake. The world will be saved. Life on the planet Earth will continue. Heaven is coming on earth. But there's a little bit of hell in its way. And that hell is coming from the discord that some human beings are responsible for. And unfortunately, there are some human beings who do not know how they themselves become pawns of the sinister force. Do you think there are people out there who are selfish? Bit of a no-brainer, isn't it? Well, every one of them, every person who is selfish, that they have made their nature selfish, every one of them, unfortunately and tragically and unwittingly, are making themselves pawns that the sinister force can work through. Well, beloved hearts, seems a simple choice to me that you be an instrument, that your own God presence, the angels, and the ascended masters can work through. Not the sinister force. So, dear hearts, I bless you with my heart flame of freedom. And I will leave you on a lovely, or with a lovely, reminder. Recently, under the will of Mother Akasha, my great sister, the Goddess of Liberty, along with the assistance of the great Goddess of Music and other goddesses, prepared in the Ascended Master octave 144 million American flags that were made up of the electronic pattern of life. This was done and announced in one of Mother Akasha's events in Syracuse, New York. And these electronic pattern American flags, 144 million of them, were anchored into the lower atmosphere across America. And I say to you, these electronic patterns, well, we in the ascended realms are working with those patterns. We are pouring light through those patterns, and we are seeing remarkable activities already. So to those of you who say America will fail, I say, take your ignorance somewhere else. America will rise. And with my great friend, Jesus the Christ, mighty victory, beloved Mother Mary, and Lady Nada, and others, I say to you, we have in place divine insurance, and we know the moment to activate that divine insurance. The release of light from the 144 million American flags that have been placed in the atmosphere over America, less than 3% of what those electronic patterns can do has been released. So I say, when we release the full electronic pattern of those 144 million flags over America, then I say to you, those who hate America will flee. I pause for an applause if you like. I thank you, dear hearts. You know, blessed hearts, love life. Love. For I say to you, when you have discovered your own I am God presence, and you have come to live with your presence every day, it is like breathing a breath of fresh air for eternity. To everyone who finds the I am God presence, certainly there are lots of questions, and there ought to be. Yet all those questions have answers. And I am truly delighted that once you have gained an understanding of the I am God presence and who the Ascended Masters are, and that we all come loving to offer gifts into your life, that you have opened the door for the greatest blessings in your life. Yet I must do what I do, and say to you, dear hearts, to all of you who are discovering for the first time that you have an I am God presence, that is the individualization of Mother, Father, God, that is both within your heart and above you. To those of you who are hearing this for the first time, and there are thousands this year who are going to hear this and awaken to this reality, well, you'll have many questions, yet they all have answers. And the answers to those questions that will come up, questions that you will naturally have in hearing this wonderful news, all the answers are found in my first two books that the St. Germain Foundation has graciously published quite a few years ago, Unveiled Mysteries and the Magic Presence. And so may the magic presence within your own heart flame be a source of great justice and liberty, and be a great magnet's presence that draws to you every good thing that is yours by divine inheritance. Recognizing that I am using the messenger's voice from Canada, I say, God bless you, beloved Canada. God bless the United States of America. And God bless all the democracies around the world that are returning to freedom's flame. I would remind you that before the discovery of the lands of America, my lands were England and France, and so often did I travel through the great nations of Europe. And for so many decades I tried and tried to bring peace between those two nations, France and England, and peace amongst all the European nations. And well, today, whether it be France or England or Ireland or Wales or Denmark, the Netherlands, or whether it be over in Australia, Mexico, New Zealand, Africa, and many of the nations of Asia now, democracies are flourishing. And now there are many nations in the world that have peace. Yet, with all the work that has been accomplished and all that is constructive, this work must remain protected to ensure that we get through the cleansing of these next few years and the building of this incoming seventh golden age. I am with you, dear friends of my sacred fire love to life. Namaste, namaste. Namaste.